What's your truth, man? Like, why the fuck are you doing this?
I can tell you, growing up, I was always very shy, and I didn't want to talk to people. And I think it was, one, I was scared of rejection, and two, my parents got divorced when I was very young, when I was 2, and then immediately my dad went to dealing with an alcohol problem, and so he was dealing with that and struggling to get sober. And my mom is devastated by the divorce, and then she moves in with my grandma, and my grandma's dealing with some personal struggles. So the 2 women in my life who I'm spending a primary amount of my time with are emotionally consumed by their own trauma in their life. My mom becomes so sick, she gets pneumonia, and so it's not things that are within her control. But, these are like my formative need for nurture years, and there's chaos in my life. And what I remember, like some of my mom's stories of me growing up, was trying to make her laugh and smile during these very scary and sad situations. And then because my parents are divorced and, my dad's working really hard, my mom's working really hard, they're 2 single parents trying to be able to afford this kid. And they're just constantly at work. So now I got to be big to get attention, and I'm not getting it at home. So I got to get it at school. I become a class clown, because that's a great way to get attention. Is people will notice me, but then I'm getting in trouble, and I'm smart, and so they're like, he's gifted, he has potential, but he's a fucking idiot when he talks too much. So there's all of the stuff of people telling me, you have so much potential, but you can't keep your fucking mouth shut, and you're a problem, and what you're doing is not okay. And then also, like, I feel like I need to do something to deserve love and attention outside of that. So that manifests through me becoming both a bully and bullied, and being like a real asshole, and just overcorrecting for all of my insecurities as a teenager and adolescent, and even into my early 20s. And then I start to go through some like emotional intelligence training, and I learn empathy for the first time. And then I start to try and find my purpose in the world. And I found that I loved helping people, but that in the world of like philanthropy and charity and nonprofits, there's one, like a lot of business dealings, and 2, there's a lot of people that don't have a heart for irreverence. There are some people who, like I said before, people that have been through actual hardship don't ever seem to have real problems with it. But there are some people that have had tangential hardship where they didn't have the cancer, but their father did, and watching him deteriorate really hurt. And so that was their hardship. And so now hearing jokes about cancer dad makes them immediately sad and upset. So in any situation where I might make a joke that would be funny to cancer dad, she's hurt. So like, and that was a thing I kept running into, is like, I still like to party. I like to have fun. Like I like staying up till 4 or 5 a.m. doing crazy shit with my friends and having funny talks. So I found like smaller and smaller tribes that I involved, like really identified with, until I would get so small in the circle that it was just me again. And every time it just kept being me again. And then when I found comedy, and the first open mic that I went to wasn't great, but then when I started really doing it and meeting the comedians and like working on it and talking to people, I found unconditional acceptance, which was something I had found in like a 12-step program before and thought that I belonged there because of the way they accepted me. But then I didn't align values with them. Then I found people that had the same values. They wanted to be funny. They wanted to see what they could do to make people laugh. And then I found people that had freedom to fail and giving me space to grow. So there was a lenience. So I could commit a social faux pas. I could, not text someone back or not show up to a thing I was supposed to be at. Or I could, I could go over the line and not be funny that night. I could bomb terribly. But all of that was still okay because I had acceptance, because what I was doing was the same thing they were doing. And we both agreed that what we were trying to do was being funny. And then lastly, like, you didn't always have to do that, but we knew that that was what we were in pursuit of. And I've met the most fascinating and interesting and unique people. And like, some people meet me and they're like, you've lived a bunch of lives and you have an interesting story. And I do. I have a bunch of interesting stuff that happens to me, but I'm just one of 30,000 people that are just as interesting and fascinating, if not more so. And so what I've found is that for me, the reason I do it is I have a community that I love. I have a relentless passion for what I'm doing, and the difficult parts of the job are so much worth the benefit of the job that even the only hope of financial compensation is enough to continue doing the dirty work. So I'm in it because there's, one, nothing else that's ever lit me up inside like this. And two, because I found that I have a gift. The thing that when I was young was getting me in trouble is now the thing that is making my life possible. And that's looking at the situation, finding what's funny about it, and sharing that with the people around me. So that's why I do it.
It's awesome, man. That's going to be a clip for sure. Like that's gonna be a 3-minute closer right there.
Yeah.
Man, finding deep conversation with Mike Eaton.
This always fucking happens, dude. I talk with people and they're like, this is about to be crazy shit. We're about to talk about drugs and sex and party. And then it's like, life.
Right? Yes. Let me tell you the secret to life by Mike Eaton. All right.